Support the He podcast via a one-time donation, a monthly subscription from as low as $1, a lifetime membership, and purchase He's exclusive collection of merchandise. And for all other business inquiries at buymeacoffee.com/Rafi. Who is he? He is me. Hi, I'm Rafi Redswan. This is he. Here is my chance to share some amazing stories with some amazing people that are inspiring to me. He celebrates everyday people of everyday life. He revolves around conversations that inspire others to change the world and make a difference in life, with a little bit of laughter and a whole lot of drama. Join me for personal stories and experiences on health and healing, successes and failures, recovery and discovery, anything relatable, and anything in between. He elevates us to rise again and live our very best life. Just so you know, you are not alone. He is with you. Hi Nina,
Hi, Refi.
how are you?
I am very well.
Thank you for joining me in this conversation today, and you're all the way from Amsterdam.
I know it's 6:30 in the
Yeah.
morning in Amsterdam. I definitely am so honored and happy to be on your podcast.
Yes.
If not, I wouldn't be waking up so early.
Yes, thank you. I'm so glad that we're bringing this conversation to the table. I first time saw you on your TED Talk, and I think you did a wonderful talk in that show. And I'm very compelled to have you on the show and talk about Till It Happens to You. I think in this conversation, I have Nina, who is currently living in Amsterdam and who is also a resilience mentor, right?
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
that's me.
Some experiences can only be truly understood when you go through them yourself. And I think what you told in TED Talk and how you have found yourself and started this business, the resilience equation, I want to explore the depth of empathy, resilience, and personal transformation that comes with life's most profound moments, both joyful and the heartbreaking. And I hope this conversation, through powerful stories and honest conversation with you, we discuss the impact of adversity, the lessons learned through lived experiences, and the ways in which pain, growth, and healing shape you. And I hope this would be a reminder that while we may never fully grasp someone else's journey, compassion and understanding can bridge the gap until it happens to us. What does till it happens to you mean to you? And how has this phrase taken on a deeper meaning in your own life?
We're going so deep into it already from the word go.
Yeah.
So, thank you again, Refi, for having me. I am Malaysian, so
Mhm.
my name is Nina Aziz Justin. Actually, it's Justin. My
Yeah.
husband is French, and I am definitely Malay at heart. So, to answer your question, till it happens to you, what does
Mhm.
it mean to me? I would go back to my roots for that. In Malay, we have a Malay saying, tak
Mm.
kenal maka tak cinta. If you don't know, you cannot love. And I love this saying simply because very often nowadays we think we have a lot of information about so many things more than before. In the old days, our grandparents, if they did not go to university, they always assume they are not smart or they are not well educated or they don't have the information for certain things. But these days, while you could be an artist, you could also have some other information on science. And if you are a scientist, you might have some information on philosophy. And if you are a philosopher, you could also have some information about sports. So people have so much knowledge. And this depth of knowledge could be differing in different subjects, but we have a lot of understanding or some high level understanding or shallow understanding of different subjects. This also makes us feel like we know it all. So this is a phenomena that's happening not just in the West, it's everywhere around the world. Most people feel that they have access to information, therefore, they know a lot. And it's true. Many of us now have the capacity to access many more information,
Mm.
a lot of different things. We can always find out. You can even find out where I live if you want. I'm
Yeah.
all over the internet.
Yeah.
So there's not really a lot of mysteriousness and secrets anymore. But this gives us also the feeling like macam, and like how we would say it in Malay, we are sufficient, or we're not totally like incapable of understanding somebody else's experience. Even
Yes.
if we haven't been to a country, we think we know because we've read a book. But if you have not experienced certain things, but you know
Mhm.
it from reading, from listening, from watching videos, from whatever source you may rely on, you still will not know it as well as experience. Because when you experience something, something happens to your brain. This is how we learn, actually. Every time we do something new, we rewire our brain, right?
Mm-mm.
So every learning experience is a psychological, physiological, emotional, and spiritual experience. So unless you have this complete, let's say, understanding of a situation through all these different outlets of
Mm.
learning, or
Yeah.
sense of learning, it's very difficult for you to say that you know it. So
Mm-mm.
this gives me like, to answer your question, what does it mean till it happens to you? This gives me a feeling like I am always learning about something.
Yeah.
I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a student of life. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And till then, despite the fact that I studied law, I have a master's in publishing, I've worked in over 40 countries around the world,
Yeah.
there are tons of things I do not know, because I know it theoretically. It's not because I have experienced it.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that's a really good answer. It gives me goosebumps just listening to it. And I
Oh,
think
thank you.
well,
I hope it makes sense though, because
it
it's such a
does.
long answer.
It does. Gives me goosebumps because prior to this recording, we had a little bit of very deep ice-breaking session where we told about some of our experience, and I think now I can understand why this was your answer, and then why I was open to share some of my stories to you that I wouldn't share publicly. I'm curious. You did speak about some of the experience happened to you in your TED Talk. How have your personal experience with adversity shaped the way you approach resilience and healing? And how has this experience changed you as a person?
Okay, I always think, I don't know whether some
Hmm.
people might call this imposter syndrome. I
Yeah.
always think that I don't know enough, actually. I've always had this feeling about so many things. No matter how much I learn, actually, I still haven't learned some other things that I wish I know in that particular subject. And when I spoke at TED, I narrowed my talk to my experience with my daughter, my smaller daughter, my younger daughter. I have two daughters.
Yes.
So the big one, she's 19. She is a neurotypical child, a person now, not just a child. She's an
Hmm.
adult by
Hmm.
the European law. And my small one, who's 10, she is neurodivergent, and she has a rare
Hmm.
condition. When she was diagnosed, she was 1 in 21 in the world.
Hmm.
So it was really difficult because no one knew how to help us. Even in the Netherlands, the doctors were reliant on us to tell them what's going to happen to her so that they can study more about the condition. And her condition is really about um, how her brain is developing totally differently than a neurotypical person. And this is because one of the genes is mutated. And that's not because she inherited it from me or anyone in my family, nor my husband, nor his family members.
Yeah.
That's just because of nature.
Yes.
That's just life. So I don't believe that my daughter is given to me for any other reason
Hmm.
but for love. And my daughter is not the first challenge I've had in my life. I have divorced parents, and some divorce are, I could say, tidy. My parents' divorce were very untidy. So I've had that since I was young. Having achieved certain things in my life, despite the difficulties I faced as a child, because my mother was very young, and not to blame her for the life that I've had,
Yeah.
but I never felt as a child that I had anyone to rely on because I felt alone most of the time.
Mhm.
And I also took care of my brother quite often when I was little. So from a very young age, I've always had the feeling that I'm responsible to take care of how everyone is. Are they happy? Can I help? Da 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 da,
Yeah.
whatever. And I got here.
Mhm.
I achieved something. So I expected life to be kinder to me, thinking that I've had it all already.
Mm.
Now I can have a good time. And then my daughter came, right? So it's like, no, come on, give me a break, right?
Yeah.
If I could have that conversation with God, I would say, cut me some slack.
Yes. Yes.
Of course, it's another chance to grow. As
Mm-mm.
I said,
Mm-mm.
it's my daughter is in my life. Like everything that happened to me is a chance to love, and to love her and to love me. And it's
Mm-mm.
another way of looking at, not that I when it happened, I was like, oh yes, another chance to learn about love. Oh yeah, great, great.
Yeah.
No, no, of course
Yeah.
not. It was
Yeah.
like, why is this happening? But time, and that is what is also what I included in the first part of my equation, the resilience
Mm-hmm.
equation. If you
Mm-hmm.
listen to my TED talk, that
Mm-hmm.
time is definitely a beautiful gift from
Mm-hmm.
life, and that's what we have today as well. Thank you. Is to give us that space to look at things one more time. So it's a process of constant evaluation,
Mm-hmm.
constant learning, constant coming into another place and understanding life in a different way.
Yeah, and I totally understand where this comes from too, as someone who experienced. I apologize, I'm not comparing myself to your daughter. I was born different, and I knew I was different, and my parents gave me love. And then I was never happy with myself. I was never happy with the way I was born because I wasn't normal. And throughout the years, and when I, was looking for love, and you mentioned the word love a lot, even in the beginning of the conversation before we started the recording, it triggered me because I felt like, wow, this is also a path for me to love. And I'm sure because of this journey, what happens to us can also mean something for us in the future. And this what has led me to be here today. And I believe God has brought us today to be in this conversation together for a reason. And I'm very, very proud of how you have I want to say composed. In mathematics, when you created equation, dia panggil apa? Ah? Dia panggil
Entah, in
dia,
Malay? You mean in
ha
Malay atau apa
ha
ni ya?
you macam you buat kira equation tu you produced it. You created.
Yeah,
You created.
it's very funny because actually that came from
Ha.
me. I used to walk a lot. I mean, I still try to walk
Yeah.
as much as I
Yeah.
used to, but at this moment, I have so much work to do that
Mm.
I have not even in sometimes half an hour to walk every day, which is
Mm.
terrible. But in the past, whenever I have some, let's say, like my mind is full or I can't organize it with so many
Mm.
thoughts and emotions. And most of the time, your emotions are just another manifestation of your thoughts. So if you
Yes.
have such a full head, you
Yeah, yeah,
feel
yeah.
like, oh, you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
emotional and da da da. So I used to walk. And when I walk, I listen to podcasts or music. And for whatever reason, I listen to a guy. I think his name is Gary something. I can't remember. See?
Okay.
Because I really can't remember his name anymore. And he spoke about how to make somebody understand complex things. And it's very scientific. And he says, whatever you do, develop a model
Develop
that
a
people
model.
can
Yes.
understand.
Yes, yes, yes.
This resilience equation came
Ah,
about because I thought it's so hard sometimes to share. And also, I don't want to share my experience in the form of victimhood because a lot
yes.
of people are, oh, you don't understand me, this is so painful and you don't
Yeah.
understand my life. And but the thing is, we don't need people to understand us all the time, and we don't need to understand people, but we need to
Yes.
relate. We need to
Yes.
relate, not
Wow.
understand. So I created this equation as a
Mhm.
form of a model
Mhm.
to make it relatable for other people, um, to benefit from this complex experience. And I don't wish this experience for anyone else, actually. I
Mhm.
think it's hard to live
Yeah.
my mothering life for my daughter, because I mean that's one part of my life, not my whole life. But at the same time, it's beautiful. So if you can relate to the beauty of it, and if you can use part of this experience to learn, if you wish to, then you can access it. So why I created it is just to make it accessible and relatable for anyone to use in any situation, no matter what their problems are. So they don't need a handicapped child. They don't need to be, me. They don't need to live my life, but they can apply it. So the
Mm.
resilience equation, which is time multiplied by mindset
Mm-hmm.
to the power of incremental action, is about that. So if you have any problem, let's say, whatever problem you're facing, it could be, let's say, to simplify, you are having a sad day,
Mm.
just take your time. Like
Yeah.
in the whole equation, the first thing I spoke about is taking your time. Don't rush, because we also live in the world of speed where everything must happen now. You must have the answers. But some things don't have immediate answers. Some things don't even have any answer. Be okay with that.
Yes.
Okay, take the time to experience it and take it as it is. And maybe in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, you will find the answer. Maybe
Mm.
not.
Mm.
But,
Mm.
be okay with that, because mentally you see the experience as learning. That's the mindset part. You are a beginner. You
Mm.
experience life with no weight of any assumption of knowing anything. Therefore, you're like, I didn't know this. This is new. I
Mm.
didn't know I would feel like this. I thought if this happens, I would feel like this. But no, it's all
Mm.
new. And what you can do is just take little steps after that. And as
Yeah.
long as you are in a state of movement, i.e., you're not in stagnation,
Mm-hmm.
except for the part when you actually are taking your time, even
Mm-hmm.
then you have to go inward, you're fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you will be okay. And you can apply this equation. I believe I've tried it several times with other people's problems to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it was correct before my TED talk. But that's what I was trying to do, is try to tell people, like, look, it doesn't matter what it is. You
Mm-hmm.
try to do this, and then you will become more resilient.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but even then, I think resilience has different meanings for different people. But what I'm trying to impart in that is that you become more adaptable.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Wow. Wow. And I'm sure this inspiration behind the founding of the resilience equation and how it has helped others navigate challenges, it has brought you to become your role today as a traction expert, business strategist, and the resilience mentor. And I wonder how this role has influenced your perspective on overcoming setbacks.
This is a funny one. The thing is, I created the Resilience Mentor as a company and as a brand because of what happened to me. And it's not because, oh yeah, like it's not that the role helped me in my life, but I created the role because of what happened to me. It's a process of evolution.
Mm.
I before this, I've been founders of startups, and before that, I was working in corporate. I've always wanted to work all around the world. That was my dream as a child. I can't
Mm.
remember ever wishing to stay in Malaysia as a child.
Mm.
I knew I will live abroad
Mhm.
since I was 5, 6, 7. And often I think about that and say, why did I feel like that? Is it because of a reaction
Mhm.
that I had at the time? Because my
Mm.
parents were
Yeah.
fighting a lot and
Yeah.
I was always alone, or I felt alone. And then I wanted to go way far away. I thought about
Mm.
that, but it's not the case. It's not the case. It's
I
because
feel
I
I
always
feel
want.
you. I feel you.
You do?
I feel you.
I'm
I
so
feel
happy I'm
you.
not alone.
I feel you. I wanted to leave so much because being me, it's not. This is not the place.
Mm.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
actually, maybe I have the same feeling as you.
Hmm.
Actually, maybe I felt like it wasn't my place,
This is my
but I
place.
love Malaysia still to
Yeah.
today. It's for
Yeah.
me a home. It's the only home for me in my heart, and it's just bizarre. I always wanted to do that, so I did, and then actualize my dreams of working around the world. And at one point in my life, I had a career where I was on the plane every week. And sometimes in 1 month, I'm on 4 different continents. So I've lived my dream. And I met my husband. He is my bestest friend in the world. And that I'm super lucky. I mean, I feel in my marriage, I'm at peace. I found my home. And then we got our daughter, the
Yeah.
second one, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, okay. And then we had to, also find our places again within this context because it's quite tough. But to answer your question, the resilience mentor came about because of all this, and the brand basically differentiates me from everyone else who does my job. So that's a business mechanic, and that's a decision
Yeah.
I took for product differentiation. What I actually do is I help small businesses, startups, and scale ups double, triple, or basically make more money.
Hmm.
And to make more money, money is just neutral, actually. It's just a symbolic reflection of what you can achieve, but it's not the total reflection of achievement. But
Yeah.
what it requires in any form of achievement is resilience, because there's
Mm.
nothing that you can achieve without these qualities that you need to build resilience. So, what is resilience? Well, in business, it's about time management. That means you must have good processes and, try to be efficient with what you do with your time and with your money so that you can make more money so that you can expand and grow and be
Yeah.
successful. So I just use that part, but actually my life experience helped my work rather than my work helped my life experience. And I think because of my, so far, the biggest challenge in my life is definitely having my daughter, and it's
Hmm.
also the biggest blessing. I became someone different, so I
Mm.
bring to the table a human being rather
Yeah.
than a business machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also, I think, was also something that was meant to be. It comes for a reason, and then think it brought us here today. I was thinking what you said. It triggers me again.
Oh my goodness, I'm so triggering.
I'm so it's triggering because then I thought, if I were Nina, if I were a woman, I could have been you. Could have been you
Seriously,
and living the
welcome to
life.
my world.
The life, I wouldn't be here in this town in Malaysia. I would have thought, Nina, long time ago, I was exactly like you. I had the same thought. I felt like this wasn't my place. I love Malaysia so much. If I were a woman at the time, I mean, maybe some other people as a man did that, but it wouldn't be something that I would, I could have done in the past, but I think eventually it didn't happen. I think it would be easier if I were a woman.
Really? Why would life be easier?
I think I would have found someone and be married and leave, or probably work and then found someone there, just the way I was, and
Mm.
then probably have the life I want. But I'm not saying that I despise what I have now, because I think this is also, something I've wanted, but I can't change that. I mean, when you said that you don't need people to understand you, and you don't need you to understand people. But I think being in my position, it's easier to say, oh, this guy say, it's wrong, or it's a sinner and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is, I never asked any of this. And then what you said, how you put it out there in this resilience occasion just make a lot of sense. Because if I didn't give myself enough time to feel and experience in this journey of mine, I wouldn't know how to be resilient too.
Hmm.
Right? You see where I'm going? And I
Yes.
think it's amazing because I wouldn't put all of these experiences and all these heartbreaks and even joys into an equation, and something that, even with that equation, it's not something that you can have an immediate answer. 4 plus 4 equals 8. It's something that 4 plus 4, some people take longer to find the answer 8. Some people see it as 7. Some people see it as 9. So it really depends on the person. And I think the equation helped me to understand that it will be on my terms.
Yeah. You know
Right?
why?
Ah,
Yeah, because I think what people forget is the science also behind this.
yes.
Everything your brain needs to rewire through
Yeah.
every experience. This
Yeah.
is neuroscience. When it has finished rewiring, when it's been edged to what we call in feelings and sentiments memories,
Mm-hmm.
then only you understand.
Yeah.
And you cannot even understand it fully. But isn't that the whole thing about life. Is the
Yes.
whole thing about life is our journey and quest to understand and to have meaning. But
Yeah.
you give it your understanding. You give
Yes.
it your meaning. It as cannot be something that someone else gives to you because
Yes.
they don't live in your body.
No.
They
Yeah.
don't wake up to be you every day, right? And that's also why I stop asking other people to understand because, of course, we are told that things should be logical. Things
Mm-mm.
should be, unless it's like this, no one would understand you. I mean, this whole idea that people can understand everything
Hmm.
is just the starting of all our pain,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we cannot understand everything and we should be
No.
okay not to understand it. We
Yeah.
should be, and that's like if you want to follow the teachings
Hmm.
of religions, that's like submission to the higher being.
Yeah.
You don't, you are not smart enough or big enough to understand everything.
Yeah.
There are certain things you will never understand, and
Yes.
that is okay.
That
That
is
is okay.
okay. Yes, I totally agree. And in this, you spoke about higher being, and I think that higher being for me is God. He understood me. That what matters, I think. And with him
Mhm.
understanding in how he made me, I think I feel like okay, as long as he still provides, no matter what I did. And I feel like this is a journey that it takes time. And speaking of understanding, I want to ask you, what was a pivotal moment in your journey that changed your perspective on empathy and understanding?
I cannot remember one specific moment, but that made everything clear. But today, at my age, I think, wow, I should have learned this before. But you learn when you learn. And I think now, today, I would like to think what helps me with every situation is not to make any assumption. They say assumption is the mother of all F up.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
no assumption, zero assumption. And this also gives me that opportunity to be humble and also respect
Mm,
for others, respect every single person that I meet to have their own wisdom, their own, let's say, perspective on the situation. Therefore, when something happens, no one is a victim of any situation. They are trying their best.
yes, yes,
Everyone is trying their best to understand what they can understand at that time. So for me, I am now at my age taking more of a place of an observer in every situation,
yes,
even myself, even
yeah,
observing myself sometimes, rather than the expert, you know,
yes. Wow,
knowledge person.
wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Wow, I love that answer, and I think he comes from a place of humility. He comes from a place of love, and I think I really feel the connection. Why again I would repeat this, why this conversation brought us here today, and it's just a full circle moment to me. And this is my final season, and I'm glad that I get to bring this on the table with you, Nina.
Why is it your final season?
This is my fourth season. I've done over 100 episodes. I think
Wow.
I passed that healing journey. I think probably the next steps would probably be writing fiction books or discuss something more, more current
Okay.
or something different.
Fair.
I have no idea, but I think
That's fair.
yes,
Evolution.
the evolution. Yes. How do you think lived experiences differ from theoretical knowledge when it comes to truly understanding another person's struggle? And how can we cultivate more compassion and understanding for others, even when we haven't walked in their shoes? Because you spoke a lot about we don't need to understand them. What do you think?
I'm trying to put it in a practical way. Let's say you told
Yeah,
me about yourself.
yes,
How would that differ? Like, I will never be you,
yeah,
okay? But what I try to do is to find, I mean, this sounds like, oh, wow, she's like so nice. But it's not like that. I don't think like, oh, I have to be nice. Not at all. But I just separate myself from your situation right now by
hmm,
just acknowledging that this is your experience and you're sharing it with me. And I don't know whether I'm doing this now subconsciously,
yeah,
but like for me, it's very practical. I see you. I
mm,
see you.
mm,
When
mm,
someone is telling me something, I don't at least for now, I am sure I haven't always been like this, but this experience that I have now has
Yeah.
taught me this. Every time someone is in pain or struggling with something or experiencing something that I have never experienced, I want to see them. I just
Mm,
want them to even feel completely seen by me. And just by me seeing them and them feeling seen, that in itself is healing for them and for me.
yes.
None of us actually knows what is the best answer. We always do what we think is the best idea at the time
Mhm.
with what we know. We can't tell the future. No one can. You know, even Elon Musk,
Yeah.
sorry to drag him into this
Yeah.
conversation, but
Please do. Yes.
no one knows.
Not
But
even
it's
ChatGPT
different.
because because I asked
But the
ChatGPT.
difference is that someone is feeling really confident about
Yes.
something and speak with confidence, and then you think, oh, he has all the answers. But
Because it's for Elon Musk and brought him here. I recently asked ChatGPT,
yes,
"What do you
you
see my future? Do you predict I'll be successful?" He said, "I don't know. I don't know.
even ChatGPT can't tell you. I'm
Cannot tell
telling
me."
you.
But
Yeah,
the ChatGPT did tell me if
he
you are
says,
persistent, do all
yeah.
the work with all these dreams that you have, and you will be.
I am telling you, that is a standard answer that ChatGPT collects from
Yeah,
many different websites. And it is wonderful to have all these sayings.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I at this moment I'm gonna challenge that and say,
Ah,
even if you work so hard, no one can guarantee you because the
mm,
success is actually in that trying,
mm,
not in the result. The result
mm-mm,
is not why you're doing it.
mm-mm,
And if
mm.
you are having any kind of pain and you sit in front of me and be that physical pain, I can help you because I'll take you to the doctors. But if it is emotional, I will not be able to help you. You
Mm-mm.
need to go through it, and all you need is someone to make you feel not alone.
Yeah.
Because this is something that I learned from my own experience, having
Mm.
my small daughter. No one could help me, no matter how much they would love to. They can't, not even the doctors. I felt alone again. So it's a familiar feeling. Like when I was little, I felt alone, but I
Mm.
knew that as long as someone sees me and recognizes that I am there, I'm going through this and make me feel seen, that is enough for me. And I
Yeah.
will heal because I'm seen. Most
Yeah.
of the time we hurt because we're not seen, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when people are hurting, I say what I can and I offer practical help, but that's just an offer.
Hmm.
But more than anything, I just want them to know I see them.
Yes.
I see you.
You're not alone. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I know what you went through was really hard. And I think when I first heard the first bit of that talk, I nearly cried because
Oh,
I know it's not easy. And then now that I know, growing up, you almost had like a similar to what I felt. It's just, coming here with this kind of the things you said. I mean, it's nothing could have been any more real than this.
I try nowadays not to gloss over anything,
No, it
and I
doesn't
think
sound glossy either.
yeah,
No, it doesn't.
definitely not glossy. If you want
No,
glossy, you should
no.
have me on your
Yeah.
show.
When it's released, it would be so nice.
Oh,
It would
absolutely.
be,
You're gonna gloss me over.
yes,
Gloss with as much gloss as possible.
we deserve it. We
Yeah,
deserve it.
absolutely. Gloss away, my dear.
So thank you, Nina, thank you.
I see you. I see you.
And I see you too. And what
Yeah,
advice
thank you.
would you give to someone who feels unseen or misunderstood in their own struggles, and to those who are currently going through a transformative or painful experience? What would it be?
Take your time. And if it feels very long, don't run away from it. The only way out is through it. I know that again, that sounds cliche. The only way out is through it. And I
Mm,
think question if the way you feel is true to you,
mm,
and if you can love yourself well by keeping that mindset. I think sometimes it's not the situation that hurts you, it's the mindset that you have. I think if you see yourself as a learner and if you free yourself from the words of other people, what other people tell you to be correct or incorrect, sometimes you cannot love yourself
Mm,
because of it. So,
mm,
whatever way out is through loving yourself. I
yes.
think if you love yourself, if you learn to love yourself, even like me, no gloss, just
Mm.
just as
Yeah.
I am, you will find the meaning in it. I
Mhm.
think it's not about the answers, but it's in the meaning.
Wow. Beautiful,
Yeah.
Nina. Beautifully said.
I hope it makes sense.
Now, before we end this conversation, Nina Justo, what are your hopes and dreams for yourself, your family, and for the future you wish to see?
It's almost like I don't have a hope. But while it sounds strange that I don't have a hope, it is not because I am hopeless. Where I am today, how I see the future, for myself as a person, I want to leave a legacy.
Yes,
But for my whole family, I just want to live a full life. I just want to live our higher purpose. And if by sharing in small ways, in big ways, by making other people feel less lonely, that means I can say I have lived a well lived life. That would be what I continue to hope for in the future.
yes. Wow. Nina, thank you for sharing your stories with me. I think you're an inspiration to me. You're not
You
alone.
too.
You're not
You are an inspiration to me. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I think we forget that we all bring something to the world. We all
Yes.
do.
Yes. And I hope that we get to meet one day. If I do get to go to Amsterdam, I will meet you there.
You can meet me everywhere, and I hope we will cross paths in
Oh,
real life
yes.
in Kuala Lumpur, in
Yes.
France, in
Yes. Anywhere.
Amsterdam, wherever,
Yes.
wherever you are.
Yes.
You are also an inspiration to me.
Thank you.
I think you are very brave, and I think courage is the mother of all virtues. And
Yes.
I look forward to your next phase when you end this healing journey on He.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. And you know what we used to say? I see you when I see you.
I see you and I see you,
So this is
online or offline.
Thank you, Nina.
You are welcome, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to He. A new episode is available every Thursday, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We'd love to hear from you. Follow me on social media at Rafi Ridzwan and at He Podcast for all the updates and behind the scenes. Once again, thank you for listening to He with Rafi Ridzwan.